Hey everyone, I'm the black-haired Richard Core Kenobi here, and I'm back again for another Honest Thoughts. And today, well, if you read the title, you know what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Dragon Ball Super's ending. Now, this news broke out last Thursday in an official press release that was translated by Herms, which I will leave a link down below so you can go check it out. That Dragon Ball Super will be coming to an end and reaching its climax in March with the conclusion of the Tournament of Power arc that has been going on. Now, this news obviously shocked the whole community, and a lot of people just wanted to know what is going to happen. Is Super going to be canceled? Is Super going to end? What is the future of Dragon Ball? Now, I'm here to give you guys my own perspective on this. I am not going to tell you what other Dragon Ball YouTubers have already said, because I feel that that would not do this news justice, and I'm not them. So, if you really want to know the situation, and if you really want to go more in depth on why this happened, and possibly get some insights on what Super's future could be, I highly suggest that you go check out my friends Geekdom 101 and Masako X. But also, too, go check out Detective Q's video, as he mentions some great pros and cons to this news. And, of course, go check out Anime AJ. All of these people gave incredible, in-depth thoughts on this news, and honestly, they did it much better than I ever could. So I'm going to try and do this justice. So I'm not going to bullshit you. I am going to just give you my thoughts on it, and I'm going to try and give you the good and the bad on this news. So with all this being said, let's just go ahead and talk about this. So let me just give you guys my thoughts on it straight out the bat. Honestly, guys, I knew this was going to happen one day or sooner or later, because, well, Dragon Ball Super has been going on for 2.5 years now. It's about to hit its 3-year anniversary this summer, and it's amazing. When the show started, it had a rocky start, and fans were not easily attached to it. They were immediately writing it off and just releasing so much hate on it. But as the years went by, or should I say in 2016, that's when Dragon Ball Super got better. We saw the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, and that gave us a little bit of hope. And then we got one of the best arcs in the Dragon Ball Super's history, or the franchise overall. We got the Future Trunks / Goku Black arc. And yes, while the ending was questionable and honestly ruined the whole thing, we cannot forget on how that arc changed Super's lifespan. It was amazing. We got a great villain. We got to see one of the most badass and everyone's favorite character come back. And we got to see a new story and new interactions that were just fan fictions at this point. So, yes. And then after that, we got the arc that's going on right now. The Tournament of Power arc, which so far has been pretty damn good, even though it could be better and it could have done things differently. But, hey, let's move on. But the point is that, yes, I was sad that Dragon Ball Super could end, but I understood the reason, and honestly, I don't blame Toei Animation for wanting to take an indefinite hiatus. Now, in the press release, they said that there are no plans for now to continue Super. So, I don't want to give anyone false hope, but they say for now. So, as of right now, they have fully not decided on what Super's future is. They're only deciding to end it, and most likely they're going to just think about Dragon Ball's future and where it could go. So, yes. Now, again, I'm not happy that it's ending and we're getting some questions that this new arc has raised, and we have to wait a while, either for the movie or just a new series or even Super to come back to explain them. But again, you have to understand and look at it from the bigger picture. Now, why is Dragon Ball Super ending? Because I know a lot of you are going to want to know this. Dragon Ball Super is ending because of, well, major different reasons, but I'll go ahead and explain these one by one. Number one is Bulma. Last year, we lost Himori Suru, the voice of Bulma, who has been voicing the character since Dragon Ball. She and Masako and the narrator were the original three. And the fact that Miss Suru unfortunately passed away, it was a great loss, because Bulma has honestly gone through the biggest arcs throughout the whole series. And I think Miss Suru grew up along with Bulma, because she had been playing the character ever since Dragon Ball came out. So the fact that she actually grew up at the same time this character was growing, that really tells you that she was Bulma. To me, Miss Suru was Bulma. Don't get me wrong, I love the English dub Bulma, but I'm just saying, I will always remember the first time I heard Miss Suru as Bulma when I watched the Japanese dub of Dragon Ball. And honestly, it did. It was very tragic to hear that she passed away. So that's one of the main contributing factors, is that they're going to have to decide how they're going to approach Bulma. Now, they could use, my friend Geekdom 101 and some of the other Dragon Ball YouTubers have stated that they actually could get Vidal's voice actress to replace her, because they actually sound very similar than you think they do, and I would be okay with that. But knowing that Miss Suru will not be there to finish or ever do another Dragon Ball property related thing again, it really strikes me right here. But she did do Dragon Ball FighterZ, so that will be the last time we hear her. So, of course, rest in peace, Miss Suru. But now let's talk about the other things. The second thing is that they need to decide, as I said earlier, where does Super's future go? Or, bigger question, where does Dragon Ball's future go? Again, Dragon Ball has been going for over 30 years now. 30 years, guys. And it is amazing how this show, which was based off of a manga, which was done by Mr. Akira Toriyama himself, has come. Because it has just transformed into the biggest anime phenomenon of all time. And honestly, I have looked forward to a new Dragon Ball series. I remember watching Dragon Ball, I remember watching Z, I remember watching GT, and I thought I would never get to see another Dragon Ball show again in my lifetime. I know a lot of people did, and the early 2000s were kind of rough, because Dragon Ball was gone at this point. But, of course, we had hope with Son Goku and his friends' return. We also had Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. So if it wasn't for those movies, Super wouldn't be here right now. Dragon Ball would not be at the point it's at. So we have to thank the movies for that. But the future of Dragon Ball is unknown, because honestly, if Toei Animation wants to secure and make sure that Super will be continuing to go either in anime or manga or video game form, they have to take a step back and really think long and hard about this, so that way they can promise us and make sure that Dragon Ball is not going anywhere, which, don't worry, it's not. Just because Super is ending does not mean this is the last time we're going to see Dragon Ball for good. No, because Dragon Ball is still going to keep going, no matter what happens. But the other thing is that they have to, of course, work on the movie. That's another thing. Most of Toei Animation's animation team who works on Dragon Ball Super, they are going to, of course, work on the movie in the summer. So, honestly, this gets me excited, and this has gotten most of us excited, because think about it, guys. We're getting the 20th Dragon Ball movie. That's crazy. 20 movies. I never thought we would get that many, in my opinion. But now that I know the animation team who's made Super much, much better since it began, they're going to go work on the movie. That does inspire confidence, and that makes me that makes me rest easily that the movie is gonna look good and it's gonna be well taken care of, and they're gonna put so much time and so much hard work and effort into making this movie as great as it can be. Because don't underestimate the Dragon Ball community, or no, I should say, don't underestimate the Dragon Ball franchise, because they have surprised us in so many ways. Because remember, think back to 2015. That year was the year of Dragon Ball. We got a new movie, we got a new game, and we got a new series. All in 1 year, Dragon Ball was on fire, and it ruled the world that year. That's crazy. And we never thought it would happen again. We thought that was just a one-time thing. Lightning wouldn't strike twice. But here we are. We're getting Dragon Ball FighterZ, we're getting a new movie, and Dragon Ball Super is going on a hiatus. So, honestly, history has a funny way of repeating itself. But let's just, talk about the pros and the cons here. Okay, so here are the pros of Dragon Ball Super going on an indefinite hiatus. One, as I said, they can think about where the future of the series or the franchise is going. Two, they can go work on the movie. They can put all of their attention and focus to making that movie perfect as they can. Because if you loved Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, then chances are you're going to love the movie. We don't know anything about it yet, but in the coming months we should know something. And honestly, that should get us all excited. Because again, we're getting another Dragon Ball movie, guys. Do you know how awesome that is? It's awesome. Just amazing. And lastly, the third thing is that, well, it's mostly fatigue at this point, because Dragon Ball Super has been going for 2 years now, 2.5, and they have not stopped once. They have pretty much thought about every detail on how each of these arcs will go. And now they get to get a break from it, and they just can take as much time as they need to make sure that they're okay with where Super is gonna go, regardless if it's good or bad. Because, honestly, you can't keep Super going for another year, guys. You just can't, especially with the movie coming out. Because, as my friend Masako X said, if Super were to continue while the top tier animators of Super were working on the movie, we would get the Resurrection F arc all over again, and then by the time they return next year, at that point, interest in Super is gonna go down, and nobody wants that. Honestly, I don't want that. I would rather see the movie look and be heavily amazing than having risk of Super repeating what it's already done, or did, I should say, in its first year. That's what I don't want, and I know that's what you guys don't want too. So again, we have to give up these things, because Super is unfortunately a sacrifice. It has to be sacrificed at this point, because again, we can't let our selfishness for seeing more of this show cloud the movie. We can't let it do that. We can't have the series overshadow the movie when it should be the other way around. But yes, that's just my opinion. But the other good things about this, the manga, as some of my friends who have reviewed the manga have said, now that Dragon Ball Super is going to take a break or an indefinite hiatus, the manga can now catch up, and it can give us its own take on the Tournament of Power. It can dive deeper into the characters from the other universes in ways the anime couldn't. And honestly, it could pretty much do the Tournament of Power arc more justice. Because, again, if you have been reading the manga, you know Toyotarou has done amazing work on it. And honestly, I want to know how things are going to be different in the manga compared to the anime. Because again, in the anime, it's just Universe 7 versus these universes, instead of all of the universes fighting. Now that the series is going to go on break, the manga can have its own thing. We could actually see multiple universes fighting. We can dive deep into the characters' psyches, learn about them, learn their motivation. Why are they doing this? And honestly, why they are determined to save their universe. I honestly want that. I want to see that. I don't want to see some universes get development and then the rest are just shoehorned off into the background only to be eliminated. I don't want that. I want character depth here. I want to see the manga succeed, and I want to see it do its own take on the Tournament of Power. Now, yes, the Goku Black arc in the manga was hit or miss, but regardless of which one you prefer, honestly, you can't deny how awesome the manga version of the Goku Black arc was. It definitely had its awesome moments. Now the other thing, the English dub. Because that's something we all should be thinking about right now. 2 days ago, it was the premiere of the Future Trunks / Goku Black arc. The English dub has now finally gotten to it, and honestly, I was excited. As soon as I saw and watched this whole arc in 2016, I just was waiting and waiting to see the day that that Funimation would get up to this point, because I wanted to hear Eric Vale back as Trunks. I wanted to see and hear Sean Schimmel's take on Goku Black. Regardless if it wasn't going to be Masako Nozawa, I don't care. I want to see what the English dub is going to do. And so far, I'm happy with it. And if it has certain changes here and there, that's fine, because honestly, I can just go back and watch the Japanese version and just love it. But honestly, I think that this year, for the English dub fans, Dragon Ball Super is going to receive a huge spike. It's going to be a huge year for Dragon Ball in terms of its English dub. And honestly, I'm happy about that. And I can't wait to see where that goes. And honestly, I'm very excited to now wait and see how the Goku Black arc is going to do. And honestly, I know it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And the last thing is Dragon Ball FighterZ, which, guys, I don't even think I need to explain this. Dragon Ball FighterZ is the first Dragon Ball 2D fighting game we've had since, well, yeah, it's been that long. Now, yes, we've had a console, we've had, excuse me, guys, I can't think today. We've had portable console versions, yes, but when was the last time we actually had a traditional 2D fighter on consoles? It's been that long, and now it harkens back to the Budokai series and other great games from the early 2000s. That just blows my mind. And the fact that Arc System has done an amazing job of capturing the look and the feel of Dragon Ball. I played the beta, guys. It is so unreal how amazing they did this. And I can't wait for Dragon Ball FighterZ to come out this week to see how Arc System is going to take this. And honestly, I can't wait to see how Arc System will do for future Dragon Ball games. Like, that's what I want. I want to see Arc System do more. So, Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to be, in my opinion, the best Dragon Ball game we've had since the Budokai series and other great games in that franchise. Again, this is just my opinion, but I love Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1. 2 is okay, but I longed for the days to just go back and relive the nostalgia I had whenever I first played Budokai. That's what I want. And I'm happy that FighterZ is going to give us that. So yes, those are the many good things about it. Now the bad things. Again, we have to wait. We have to go a whole year without Super, knowing what's going to happen. Because when the Tournament of Power arc finishes in 2 months, and all of the questions we've had up until this point, knowing that they're not going to get answered, that is going to be a huge downfall. That's going to be a big drop, in my opinion. And honestly, the things they set up, like the Planet Sadao arc that they've just been teasing and teasing and teasing, if that doesn't happen in the movie and we have to wait until Super either comes back or to see this resolved, that's just going to be not good. And the other thing is that Toei Animation's profits may go up and down, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna do. They're not gonna go down. They are not gonna go extremely down. They will just balance back and forth. But honestly, that's it, in my opinion. Those are the only things. Those are the only bad things I can think about. But there are more positives to Super ending than negatives. But I know you guys don't want it to go. I know. I don't want it to go either. I was there when Super started. It honestly got me back. It brought me back to my childhood, and it was just amazing to see Goku and his friends come back. And it was amazing to see Akira Toriyama tell us new stories that we've longed for. And I'm happy that Super came and changed our minds. It may have started off rocky, but in the end, it's not as good as Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball. This is true, but it's in a league of its own. And honestly, it has its fans. And the fans that it's earned, they're well-deserved. And I'm one of them. And I'm happy. Honestly, I can't thank Super enough for what it's done. I can't thank Toei Animation, Akira Toriyama, and the rest of the voice cast, the animation, and the writers for all of their hard work they've done for Super. Because it means a lot to all of us that we got Dragon Ball back. And knowing that it could be done for good, well, all we can do now is just move on, I guess. I don't have an answer for you guys. I can't see the future and where Dragon Ball's going, but it's my hope that Toei Animation will take as much time as they need to think about it. And if Super is gone for good, then all we can do is just thank the show. Instead of mourning its loss, we can remember it. We can thank it for all it did, because it may have started off as something that shouldn't have happened, but it grew to something that we were glad it happened. And honestly, I'm happy. And I'll never forget what Super did. And I just can't wait to see where the future of Dragon Ball is going. Good or bad, I'll still love Dragon Ball. Nothing's changed, and nothing ever will change. So, yes, I want to just thank you guys for hearing me out, and I hope I did my best to just give you someone's opinion who's not a Dragon Ball YouTuber, and just give you guys my opinion as a fan. Because as a fan, I love this show, but I know it's not going to be around forever, and I'm accepting that. I accepted that a long time ago. I'm just happy that Dragon Ball is back. It's going to continue. It's not going to end. And it'll keep going long after bad things happen to the people who work on it. But it doesn't matter. Dragon Ball is timeless. It has become timeless in the 30 years it came out. And honestly, I think that's great. That this anime, this one-of-a-kind anime that came out 30 years ago with Masako Nozawa, Hiroi Suru, and the narrator, and Akira Toriyama, I think it's amazing that it started as something we had never seen before, and it eventually grew into something timeless and something that will never be forgotten. And that's all I could ever ask for. I don't want the next Dragon Ball show to be rushed out. I want Toei to take their time. I want them to make sure that they know where the Dragon Ball franchise is going. So yes, that was my opinion, guys. But I love to hear yours. And please, don't freak out. Don't listen to what anyone tells you. Just listen to what your heart tells you. Just have faith and be happy Super came out. Remember it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have faith. You should. Super could come back. Nothing is set in stone. But whatever Super's future holds, let's just remember it, and let's just thank it for what it did. And let's get a discussion going about this. I love to hear your guys' opinions. What are your guys' thoughts on Dragon Ball Super's ending? Are good or bad? Let's just talk about it, and let's just remember it. And let's just be excited, guys. This is what we should be doing. Let's just stay excited for the series up until its end. Let's look forward to the next couple of episodes of the Tournament of Power. So if you enjoyed this, then please hit that like button, and hit that little notification bell to be notified of all my videos. If you're new to this channel, then please hit that like. It really means a lot. And if you enjoyed what I have, subscribe. I love to have you guys. And until then, my fellow Dragon Ball fans, this is Richard Core Kenobi, always saying, may the Force be with you all. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Goodbye, everybody.